Etymology and historical origin of the baby name Maryjane. Maryjane is basically a compound name, the pairing of popular English female names Mary and Jane, similar to Maryjane, Marybeth, or Marylou. As the mother of Jesus Christ, Mary was generally considered off-limits as a name too holy for use. This unspoken naming rule, loosened by the later Middle Ages, and Mary, Marie, Maria, etc., eventually became the most successful female given name in the history of the Western world. It's no surprise that various forms of this name spawned themselves over time. Maryjane is one such example of this trend. The origin of the name Mary ultimately comes from the Hebrew Miryam, which most likely is derived from the Egyptian element Mry, meaning beloved. The first person that held the name Miryam can be found in the Old Testament, Exodus, as Moses' sister, who happened to be a Hebrew born in Egypt, which is why the Egyptian meaning makes the most sense. The name was eventually Latinized to Maria from the Greek mu alpha rho iota alpha mu, Miryam, which eventually morphed into Mary in English. The name Jane is also English. It developed as a female form of John, ultimately from the Hebrew Yachanan, meaning Yahweh is gracious or God is generous, merciful. Personality of the girl named Maryjane. Romance is the hallmark of the Six personality. They exude nurturing, loving, and caring energy. Sixes are in love with the idea of love in its idealized form, and with their magnetic personalities, they easily draw people toward them. Like the number 2 personality, they seek balance and harmony in their life and the world at large. They are conscientious and service-oriented, and a champion for the underdog. These personalities naturally attract money and are usually surrounded by lovely material objects, but their human relationships are always primary. They thrive in giving back to others rather than being motivated by their own desires. This is when they achieve great things. Sixes are natural teachers, ministers, and counselors. Popularity of the girl named Maryjane. Maryjane has been in circulation in the United States since 1914. It was most popular in the early 1920s when compound names were quite fashionable, especially ones containing the name Mary. We also found names like Rosemary, Maryjane, Mary Ellen, Mary Lou, Mary Bell, and Mary Louise on the charts in the 1920s. Such names became far less stylish in the 1960s, and pretty much Maryjane disappeared from the charts completely for about 40 years between 1965 and 2005. The name resurfaces momentarily between 2005 and 2009, but it once again retreated into the shadows. Parents aren't really using Mary in a compound sense anymore. Instead, when it comes to the Mary names, parents are preferring the pet form, Molly, the exotic Hawaiian version, Malia, or more modern spins on the name, Mariah, Marissa. Maryjane is pretty outdated by today's standards, but it's still an old-fashioned charmer in our book. It's also a code name for marijuana. Quick facts on Maryjane. Gender, girl. Origin, English. Number of syllables, 3. Ranking popularity, not applicable. Pronunciation, Maryjayn. Simple meaning, Mary plus Jane. Characteristics of Maryjane. Sensitive, loving, affectionate, community-minded, family-oriented, humanitarian, compassionate. Cultural references to the baby name Maryjane. Literary characters of the baby name Maryjane. Popular songs on Maryjane. Molly and Maryjane, a song by El Mays, explicit.